This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. He'll be teaming with Savio Vega once Razor is suspended. Ultimately, they lose to the Body Donnas after Austin turns on Savio, and now he has a WrestleMania opponent. And these are two really talented workers. I know Savio Vega might not be a huge fan favorite these days, but you go back and you watch their matches together. And man, they just tore it down. And Austin cannot give enough credit to Savio Vega in hindsight with helping him really elevate his game here in the World Wrestling Federation and show what he could do. He needed the right dance partner, and Savio was that guy, right?
No doubt. That's why I booked Savio and Steve a lot in those days of house shows. They both enjoyed working with each other. They looked at it as a night off to the extent that, but every night they worked, they wanted the match to be a little different. The one thing that kills me is seeing guys have the same matches on TV they had in a house show run. That's lazy ass. It's pitiful. Tell me why you did that. Because you didn't want to invest more of your body and your soul and your feelings into your character, into the match. So you're basically memorizing your match off Broadway. Then we get to TV or pay-per-view, you've already had it. And I'm guilty of booking that. I did the same thing. And sometimes you did it because you wanted to make sure it helped calm the talent down a little bit. Touch each other, do your thing, have a match, but we're not going to have the same exact match on the pay-per-view. Change it up a little bit. So, but that's where that came from. You know, we did that a lot, but we had a lot of transitional talent, and we need to know how they're going to fare in that environment, in that ring, at this event with that talent. So, but Steve and Savio got along really well, and they beat the shit out of each other. I'll say this, that they were as physical as hell, and that got the other guy's attention a little bit. It wasn't a, slapping your arms and slapping your face and slapping your hip and making noise. I've never heard a leather foot hit somebody's face and it popped. It's impossible, Conrad. It don't happen. Now you can go out there in your backyard and try it all you want. I promise you can have the Casio kid kick you in the face all you want, and it ain't gonna make no noise. It's gonna make a little thud or something like that, but it's not gonna pop like the guy slapping their side or whatever. Hey folks, it's time to take your podcast game to the next level. And you certainly want to get your almighty push. My God, we have to have a push, right? We'll get that over to adfreeshows.com. Now, I'm telling you, if you're a fan of Grilling JR, adfreeshows.com has the entire episode library, and it's got no ads. 0 ads, zilch, none. Ad-free and on video starting at just $9. Did you hear what I said? $9. You spend more than that at Starbucks, for God's sakes. 2 mornings. If that's not all, folks, we got tons of bonus content, including my after-hours roundtable, where drinking was involved with Eric and Tony. You simply will not find a better value in all of wrestling. Hey, look, don't make me go red ass, because by God, you know I will. Hurry over to adfreeshows.com right now and sign up. And I thank you.
So I want to mention the next in your house is the pretty famous Beware of Dog one, where we lose power, but that's not what's important. The stipulation here is that if Savio loses, he'll become an errand boy for Steve and DiBiase. And of course, we know that they had to reshoot the doggone thing. So when it winds up happening the second time, in between the first in your house and sort of the do-over, if you will, DiBiase puts his notice in. And as you said, I'm sure Austin absolutely adores DiBiase as a performer and a worker. But man, if he's really going to get to spread his wings, the last training wheel that needs to leave is DiBiase. And it happens when Ted signs with WCW, right?
Right. Yeah. I think some people might think it's a perception that Steve kicks Teddy out of a job. Steve didn't make any moves on that. Vince knew he wasn't happy with it, but it wasn't an ongoing every day, every minute bitch session. So Teddy leaving was he had a chance to make, WCW was getting hot, and they had big plans, and he fit right into that mold of those '80s guys, because he was a huge star in that era, and you couldn't get a better guy in the locker room. So, yeah, that was how that worked out. It was just, but it gave him the spreading the wings is a good analogy. He's been waiting for this moment to be, okay, now you can be your guy. All those years we've talked about what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it, and how you wanted to be perceived, booked, marketed. Now it's here. So let's go do it. And he was up for the challenge, obviously.
Just so you know, the timeline, April 15th is when Brian Pillman would have his Humvee accident.
Yeah.
We know he's a former tag team partner and really good friend of Steve Austin's. We also know he's going to wind up landing here in the WWF. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But first, we should mention the infamous curtain call show at Madison Square Garden. Meltzer had this to say: at MSG, Steve Austin pinned Jake Roberts in about 3 minutes. After the match, Austin told Roberts he was washed up and challenged him to another match. So Austin pinned him again. The whole situation with the curtain call, of course, changed the WWF and Steve Austin's career forever. It's not just a story about Hunter Hearst Helmsley getting pushed down the cards, and as the old Vince saying goes, learning to eat shit and like the taste of it. Yeah. It is the story of, almost like in professional athletics, like football, when the starting quarterback goes down, that's bad for the team, sure, but it represents a great opportunity for someone else to step up. And that person is going to be Steve Austin. And without it, as the legend goes, the king of the ring was supposed to be Hunter Hearst Helmsley. If Austin doesn't get that moment at the mic and that final match with Jake and drop that Austin 316, this could all look a whole lot different, couldn't it?
Well, it would have looked different. It not could have. It would have. It would have looked different. Everything ended up happening for a reason. And it was so unpredictable, because nobody would have thought, if you follow Austin's journey and him finally breaking down the forbidden door, as the beloved Tony Khan would say, he became, he saw his chance, and he saw that he wasn't going to miss it. He wasn't going to drop the ball. And that's why there were so many issues where he'd need to be, I would need to speak with him, because I would listen good, and he trusted me, and we got through all that stuff, and it wasn't easy. You're not dealing with a regular guy here, Conrad. That's the thing about extraordinary athletes and extraordinary performers. And Austin had all that rolled into one. He had it gift wrapped. He'd already done the gift wrapping here at the holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. But golly, man, he battled. He battled, and I know a little something about battling right now. You just got to keep doing it. I'm not going to walk in that living room and elevate my foot, ankle on my couch, and in a little while, all the pain subside. It ain't going to work that way, JR. Your tougher days are ahead of you. Man up, be your father's son, or be a puss and lay down and complain. I might complain, but I ain't going to lay down. So, and Steve never laid down. He fought and fought until his agenda was addressed.
So, as you know, the strap match was outstanding. You can't go without telling this story without putting over this match in particular, in my opinion. It's Beware of Dog. They get a ton of time. Remember, it's only a 2-hour show, and they get over 21 minutes here. And ultimately, Austin's on the losing end. Vega gets the win, but it's a 4-star match out of Savio Vega and Steve Austin, the first match on the show. This is another feather in the cap for Steve Austin. No matter where you put me, no matter the circumstances, no matter the gimmicks, I'm going to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's his game. That's how he looked at it. And again, Austin doing the honors, he didn't give a shit.
No problem.
I want to have a great match. And based on Meltzer's evaluation, that's what we're using. 4 stars was a great match.
So let me ask, King of the Ring, in hindsight, if you had to guess, do you think the plan was always, I mean, once we know it's not Hunter, was it always Austin as the next most viable choice? Was there discussion of it being Ahmed Johnson or Vader or someone like that? Or was it just automatic since he'd been working with Brett and Sean? Oh, it's got to be Steve.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say 90% it's got to be Steve. There was some discussion about Ahmed, but I think the general consensus was that he wasn't quite ready emotionally, socially. How was he going to fit in? And it wasn't, and Austin's, the decision to go with Steve was immensely more popular than going with Ahmed, but from the talent, from what they told me.
No doubt about it.
So there wasn't any really strong challenges. After Triple H got on the shit list, Austin was the logical choice. He may have been the logical choice all along, quite frankly.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.